What is up, everyone? It's DV, and today we're in BedWars Roblox. So BedWars is actually the new game by the Islands devs, and that's why I'm covering it a lot lately. This is actually going to be a video showing you all 4 maps, at least currently in the game, because I know they're working on some new maps. I'm going to be walking you through all 4 of them. That way you can get an idea of like where things are at, you know, what the distances are between bases, where emeralds are, where diamonds are for each map, and a little bit of an overhead view, as well as a couple strategy tips for, you know, if you're going to do any kind of rushes or you just want the best routes for farming. So before I begin, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button and smash the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Like I said, there are 4 maps currently in the game. There is Blossom, which is the pink map we're going to be showing. There's Forest, which is the, you know, basically it's like a kind of like tree cabin. You see like these wooden cabins for your fort, and there's lots and lots of islands in the middle. And then there's Glacier, which is the snow map. And then there is the Aztec map, which is like the temple in the middle. So these are the official names for the maps, in case you're wondering. I didn't just make those up. So those are actually the official names. So we're going to be starting out with some overhead views of each map. So this map here is called Blossom. So, you know, it's pretty easy because it's kind of like that pink color. And you can see there's this giant tree in the middle. That's a huge, like, pink tree in the middle, and then there's these like little archways, kind of like the temple style archways that lead into your bases. There's also like these little ports or decks, you know, where you see the diamonds in the corners here. So you can see you've got 2 floating diamond islands. They're pretty far away from your island, so if you want to bridge to it, imagine you're going to probably need about 24 plus blocks. So you want to get lots of blocks for these. What I like to do is I like to hop up to the corner edge if I can, or I will actually just kind of bridge straight from the, you know, this little edge here, because it's kind of a straight shot. Now this map is a long game map, okay? So this is going to be a map that's going to actually require lots of teching because it's a little harder to rush, right? You got a lot of bridging to do to be able to get to the base for any enemies, and especially if you're going to rush, you can rush on this map, but it just takes a lot longer because of the distances. So this is actually a little bit of a slower map, and a lot of people end up, you know, spending a lot more time on this map just to win, depending on how good you are. Now that's the average, right? That's the average. But one of the things you're going to also notice is that the emeralds here, you can see there's emeralds on 4 corners in the middle island, but those are not on the same level. So I'm going to be showing you that in a little bit, but there's emeralds on each 4 corner of that tree, but the problem is they're on different levels. They're actually kind of opposite of each other. So the one on the top left here is actually on a 2nd layer, and then on the right here is actually on the lower level. So that's important to know, especially if you're trying to farm all 4. You're going to be doing lots of falling. The other thing that you'll notice is that you can actually climb all the way up to the tree. I had a couple rounds where people were camping on top of the tree. So the best thing to do in those scenarios is, you know, use your arrows if you can to knock them off, or you're going to have to climb all the way up top. So one other thing to notice is if you look at this map right here, depending on which bed you have, one has an advantage over the other. One of the things I don't like is if you can see this bed right here, it's actually sideways to, it's kind of like horizontal aligned with the bamboo, versus look at the yellow bed right here. It is actually facing a different direction altogether. The problem is that the horizontal bed, this one, there's actually a build limit behind it, so it actually exposes the back of the bed a little too much. Like you can't actually put enough defenses around it, and it really, like I said, it just depends on which island you're on, because this other one right here is a little easier to defend than the one that's sideways. So that is important to note. If your bed is sideways, you're going to have a little bit of a weakness behind the bed closest to your generator. But let's go ahead and get into this one. So this is Blossom here. You can see we got bamboo, you got these like temple kind of style look to it. You got the bed there, you got like these decks, which is kind of helpful if you want to bridge for them, but I don't really use them a whole lot. So you can see how far other players are. Their bases are really far away. So if you're going to bridge over, I would actually recommend, like I said, go in that corner over here. I'm going to try to bridge in a minute. I usually try to do it at about, if it's just by myself, I like to get about 48 plus, because you need a lot of blocks to be able to get over. I would typically do maybe about, I'd go as far as like even saving 56 iron and then buying, if you're going to go solo. That way you can keep going quickly. So I'm just going to go to 48 here. That gives you about 96. So I'm just going to go straight across here to diamond. Even if you weren't rushing, you know, maybe like 30 iron before you buy, or 32, I mean, because you always want to go in like increments of 8. So we're just going to kind of come up here. You can go up 2 blocks at a time. Remember, you can jump 2 high, and then unless you're a wall hopper like Squid. And I'm just going to bridge across here since I have extra blocks. I think I'm going to, nope, I can reach it. That was close. So, you know, a lot of people don't expect you, you know, this is a slow game. This is a slow map. So, you know, they don't even know I'm here. They're like, they figured they were completely safe on that little island. So they didn't know I was even here. They're kind of clueless right now. They're just saving, You know, I don't know what's going on, but pretty much this guy's just sitting there AFK, and he's like, oh, and he's gone. So again, pretty easy to rush if they don't know what they're doing here. And then you can pretty much have 2 resources, right? So you have 2 resources now you can farm. And so early game, if you can take out one of your opponents, especially when that's pretty close to you, it's going to be more emeralds for you, right? So you can see this is the Diamond Island again. This is actually a really nice spot. Plus, you know, a lot of people don't farm them, so it's really good for you to be able to tech. So if you can bridge to both your islands for your diamonds, if you're going to tech up or if you're going to gear up and go for that long game, definitely get those diamonds fast because, you know, faster break speed, better armor, you know, better team generators. And like I said, most people don't even expect you to just go into their island. They don't expect, most people don't even bother. I'm pretty much taking everyone out by myself again because they just don't expect it. Even this player just realized what just happened. They see the notification. They're like, no, now we got 3 islands to ourselves. Now I'm going to show you where the emeralds are. So we're going to bridge. We have a bridge already over here. So straight from here, you do need a bridge. Again, there's the diamonds on the sides of us, but you do need a bridge up. And so you can see there's a generator on this left side here. And so knowing that, there's one diagonally straight across. See that? So there's only 2 down here. So there's one right here and then one opposite on the, it's kind of like diagonal. And over here, we need to go up. Okay. So we got to get up to the next level. And you don't need that many blocks. You just need like maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5, depending on how well you go. Yeah, I would say 5. Again, the emeralds are down there. Just hop over. And then here's one of our emeralds. And then again, knowing this, it's on the diagonal. It's diagonally opposite from it. Okay. So you could jump some of these. I like to just, sometimes I just have bad luck. So I like to actually put blocks down, but you can see right here, we got the other one and it is a diagonal. Like I said, so there's actually 4 emerald generators, you know, in the corners here. So there's a total of 4, but you do actually need to go up and down to be able to collect them all. So it's a little harder to gear up quickly, which I kind of like. So if you like slower games, this is the map you really want. So we're going to come over here and kind of finish off my iron armor because I don't have that yet. Okay, we got our diamond armor. So now I just need some more emeralds for a diamond sword. So let's go back up. Let's get our diamond sword. You can see I've got diamond armor already. Looks pretty cool. I love this armor look. I love that diamond armor looks like 10 times better. Although I think they really need to fix their iron armor. It looks really bad. It's the only one that looks weird still. All right, let's get our diamond sword. So now we're fully teched. I think we just have a handful of players left. So let's go check out blue. They're making it like a fortress over here. Look at this. What is this nonsense? That's not going to protect you from anything. Do not make these. Do not do what this player did. I'm going to kill them. I'm going to go in. I'm going to make a wall so they can't get to me. Good luck. Not taking any damage from them. Just going to sit here and take their bed. Oh, man. And I've got a full set of diamond. I mean, I didn't need to do this, but I really don't like getting hit while I'm trying to like break a bed. So they're going to hop down and try to kill me. So, bye, and a solo. That was almost like a solo win. but not quite. GG's. Next up, we have Temple, which is an Aztec temple. You can see there's a big temple in the middle of the map, and that's how you know. And your bases kind of look like little temples too, right? This has to be one of my favorite maps in the game currently. It is really close to each other, so it's really easy to rush on this one. Games go way faster. You know, controlling the emeralds is a lot easier. You can see there's an emerald in front of each base. So it's not like on corners, but there's an emerald pretty much stack or generator on each front of each base, and it's just really easy to get over to. You can get this early. So this map, you're going to be able to get a diamond sword very quickly. So if you're the first across, you're pretty much guaranteed a diamond sword before everyone else, which I actually think the game team needs to change. I think you need to actually have to tech up your swords. Otherwise, what happens is people just bridge over and they have a diamond sword and game over for a lot of people. So I actually don't think that's very fair. I think they have to buy the stone sword, the iron sword, and then the diamond sword, and that'll slow the games down a little bit from a rushing standpoint. The other thing you're going to notice is the diamond islands are really close. So again, this is a very fast-paced map. So you're going to have to watch out from people bridging right away. This is very much a rush map. Like I said, you're going to see even players that don't know how to play the game very well are rushing other teams. So, you know, on some, usually it's a failed attempt. Usually they fall a lot. So it's not that big of a deal. So this map name is actually, I know I called it a temple map, but it's called Aztec. So this is the official name of this map is Aztec. All right, so let's go ahead and dive straight into Aztec and I'll show you a little bit more about this map. All right, so we're in Aztec. Like I said, you kind of start in this like Aztec temple here. And I like these pathways because I usually like to do this with, especially if I'm like battling multiple targets. I like to jump through windows a lot. And you can also jump through like the NPC windows and kind of mess with people because they don't know how to get in and out of those sometimes. So you can also trap people in there and kind of bring them. You can lure them in there so you just kind of hit them out of the windows. But once you're in, you're kind of trapped. So you got to be careful. Now this map, like I said, is very much a rush map. So this is, you got to be careful with this one. Assume that people are going to be attacking you right away. So you don't even need that many blocks. I like to go 24 on this one, but you know, I think you can probably go with like 16. So especially if you have teammates helping you out, they can pretty much share the burden in there. So if you got like 3 rushing with you, you only need really like 8 iron, and then you can rush. So if you do that, then they don't really have a chance to build anything because usually they're collecting iron still. So I'm just gonna go in and finish this real quick, and then now they're like mad at me. They're really mad at me. That's like disturbing a beehive right there. So again, here's the diamond. It's really fast to get diamonds too. Look how close it is. You really don't need that many blocks. Yeah, I could have probably done a better bridge than that, but I like to bridge quickly, so I just like to have extra blocks. You know, I just spam it, and I'm gonna come back here and kind of harass these players a little bit more. But see, you can't really get through behind, you know, between the NPC. It kind of blocks it. So we're gonna upgrade our sword, and we're gonna go get ready for the next run here. So we're gonna go and just take out yellow real quick. And I took out their bed. Now they're mad. All right, so I'm going to bridge over here and show you where the emeralds are because that is why you're watching the video. So you can see we got the temple here, and then we got the emerald straight in front of our island, which is really cool. So again, it's super nice having this right in front of your base. And then if you can hop over here, you can see you can pretty much collect these really quick. And so the other thing you're going to notice is that the temple inside, I'm not showing it here, but inside the temple, it actually does have a flat platform, but there's another map, the forest map, that has a similar temple kind of feel to it, but it's hollow inside. So if you go in, be careful about falling through. You could fall to the void inside. So a lot of people will actually fill that in. I'm going to show you that on the forest map in a bit here. So next up, we're going to be showing the forest map, which is very similar to this map. All right, next up we have forest, and you can see your actual base itself looks like a tree stump. It's really meant to be a forest. So, you know, the one thing you'll notice about this map, it's kind of deceptive. You really need a lot of blocks before you start rushing if you're going to rush. They also have these like little weird islands in the middle that can be utilized as part of rushes, but I would actually say just go around to the diamond. It's just a little better. The nice thing though is you don't need that many blocks to be able to get to the middle. So if you want to go farm for emeralds pretty quickly, you can. It's not quite like Blossom. Blossom's a little bit harder. So Blossom's way more techy. This one's kind of in between the Aztec and I think Glacier, which I'm going to show you Glacier pretty soon. You get the emeralds in pretty much the typical corners. So the corners are pretty much shared, unlike Aztec. Aztec, you remember the generators were right directly in front of your base, whereas these are cornered. So you actually have access to 2 emeralds right away if you wanted to, whereas the other one was 1. You know, pretty much you had to get really close to the enemy team in order to be able to get that emerald. So again, there's kind of a useless little floating island in the middle. You could use that for staging or hiding or whatever you want to do. I don't really use that, but you can use it if you want a bridge or something. And the other thing you're going to notice about forest, a lot of people like to turtle. And what turtling means is basically just like, you know, what a turtle does, right? You kind of tuck into that shell, and you make everything really hard to get into. So a lot of people end up turtling, especially when their bed is taken out. And so that's an unfortunate thing because what they do is they just wall it in. Well, the thing is pretty much as soon as you wall in, you're pretty much done for. Like it's game over for you. Either way, you're gonna get TNT'd, right? They're just gonna TNT you to death. So I would not turtle if you could. I would actually stay out of that situation. The other thing you're gonna notice is there's a big tree in the middle of the map, and you know, you could kind of like, you know, climb up that if you really wanted to, and you can kind of just camp out of the top and use that for either an outlook or a lookout tower, or you can, you know, just shoot arrows at everyone if you really wanted to troll people. But it's kind of useless otherwise. I try to keep my games fast. I don't like having really long games if I can help it. What you want to do is control the emeralds. If you can control the emeralds, then pretty much the game is yours, assuming you have some skill. So I'm going to show you a lot more details of forest right now with some gameplay. So let's hop into it. All right, so we're in our spawn, and this is very dark inside, right? Because you're inside this tree stump. And like I said, it is very dark. So we're just going to go bridge over here. I've got a lot of blocks ready to go. So we're going to bridge all the way to the diamonds, and then I ran out. So you do need a lot of blocks. So you need at least a teammate. If you're going to try this by yourself, imagine you're going to need about double the blocks because it's really far. So I'd say maybe save a 48 to maybe 56. I think 56 would be a better number for this because it is really far away. Not quite as bad as Blossom in my opinion, but it's pretty close. So this is a diamond island here. Again, it's just kind of a pain to get to, but not quite as bad as the Blossom pink island. The one thing that's a good thing for this map, especially if you're rushing someone, is that they create this like shielded wall. It's like a blind spot for your island. So you got to keep an eye on this. If you see someone kind of bridging, try to get up here as fast as you can to keep an eye on them because you won't know someone's coming before it's too late. I just took out their bed. So again, this is very dark. You can see people can turtle very easily in this map. All right, so now I'm actually going to show you where the emeralds are and such. So let's go over here. There's a cave inside. It always reminds me of a temple, but it's just a cave. And then if you you do need a bridge across a little bit. Now, if you want to get to these emerald generators very easily, ideally you're going to bridge up or across like this. But you see they're on the 4 corners. So they are pretty accessible. So you can pretty much just kind of, you know, build across here, jump up, you got your next one, and you're gonna have to do that for the other two as well. Now, the further away you are, the higher risk, but not too bad. And look in the center here. Look, it's kind of dark, but there's actually a hollow center there unless you fill it in. So be careful. Don't walk straight into it, especially if your screen is dark. You can actually fall straight to the void, so be careful. Now, you could bridge up all the way up like this, but there's nothing up here. So I would say if you're on this map, don't even bother coming up here unless you really, really want to like maybe gank people or kind of like ambush them in a way, which is basically ganking. So that's it for this map. So let's go ahead and jump straight into Glacier. And last but not least, we have Glacier. So you can see Glacier is actually, this is such a cool map. I really like this map. I like the size of it. I think everything's, you know, proportioned nicely. I like the angles of the emeralds. The emeralds are kind of interesting, like kind of positions. So it's really nice. It's visually appealing. I like the bridging on this one. You know, there's lots and lots of bridging here. Like I said, the visuals are really cool. So, and it's just a little easier to see players for some reason. It's probably because of the colors. Anyway, you can see you got your typical diamond, little islands here. It's very much like forest in my opinion, just slight alterations here and a little bit more of a space between your bed. So like people have to, if they're going to go bridge straight over to you, have like a few steps before they get to you. I would say, you know, if I were rating the maps for collecting emeralds and such, it's pretty easy to control that. It's not that bad. There's also a little glacier tree in the middle, like a little ice tree in the middle, which, you know, is kind of useless. So I never even bother going up there. But the other thing you're going to notice is a lot of people do turtle on this map, similar to the forest map. You know, as soon as people are done, plus the entrance is smaller than forest. So, you know, your base is really easy to actually wall up on. So like I said, turtling is not a good idea, so just try not to do that if you can help it. But instead of over explaining this one, let's just jump straight into it. All right, so similar to the tree stump, aka forest map, you know, spawn, you're stuck in this like little igloo, right? So you're in this igloo instead of a stump. And coming out here to the left, you can see they've already bridged over. It's actually pretty nice because you don't have to actually, you know, go up at all. Unlike the Blossom map, you have to kind of, you know, do this climb. So we can pretty much head straight across here. And then you got your diamonds here. And then if you come up on this corner here, you can see it's pretty easy to bridge across. Again, this one's a little easier in my opinion than forest map. Oh, we got it. So next we're going to actually bridge across to show you where the emeralds are. So we're just going to do a little quick bridge here. You don't need that many blocks. You just need about 8 iron, so 16 blocks. And then you can see there's this generator is pretty close by. This one's a little easier in my opinion than forest map. Forest map is really far away. This one's a lot closer, a lot less falling too. So you can see we got one there, we got another in this corner. So you don't really need these, by the way, like I said. And you can come up here. There's nothing up here. It's not really a point of ever coming up here, you know, other than just showing where you're at. And you can, like I said, you can actually jump across these. It's a pretty nice gap. And then, you know, the other thing I like about this is you can really see players because it's brighter. So you can actually see players very easily. But you can see it's very easy to control the emeralds at this point. So if you got good map control, and again, you don't actually have to use any blocks. You can just kind of jump across these if you really wanted to. You don't actually need to have any blocks with you. Now, specific strategies on this, again, just control the emeralds. That's really the key to this one. There's not that much to this map. There's nothing really crazy about it either. Rushing's usually going to help you out, but if you keep failing your rushes, then you kind of have to back up a bit. So that is going to be it for us. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, be sure to hit that like button and let me know in the comments below what else you'd like to see about BedWars. If you want to see more tips, if you want to see me play with more devs, some YouTubers. I think I've got a couple YouTubers. We're going to be doing some videos soon. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next vid. Peace. If you're still watching, then something special for you. Thanks to Zombie for finding this one. He is the first one to ever tell me about this, but I just didn't know about it, and no one ever showed me this, so credit goes to him for finding it. So check this out. So we go inside the lava zone. I've shown this Easter egg already, but I'm going to show you something that is in here that's another Easter egg once you're inside the lava zone. So let's run over here. Now, I think this Easter egg is kind of useless, so don't expect anything like, oh my gosh, it's going to unlock the quest of this magma sword of, you know, whatever. I don't think it's going to be like that. Typically, it's not like really clues to stuff like that, but check it out. It's a key that's on fire. It's a lava key. Pretty cool, except these people are all standing all over it. Well, hopefully you can see it. Anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Peace.